one quick escape. It looks like we've readied up your rosters again for Flaming Rainbows. Nitro, Arya, Mo, Rush, Lawson. And what we haven't talked about in the storyline is that a good majority of the Flaming Rainbows roster is Area 51. For Area 51, Peter, Polly, A2Z, Disciple, and Steno.
Yeah. You know, I was actually just looking at the bracket. If Area 51 does drop, they have a really good shot. I think they're one of the favorite teams going into the lower bracket if they do end up going there.
So
and same goes with Flaming Rainbows. So, I mean, even if they do lose this BO3 right now, I wouldn't say they're in the worst spot.
My god. How does he keep doing it? There's the trade. Disciple on the other side of the map drops Rush. You're right. Small comfort. If you lose today, you got another chance at it, but you really don't want to. You'd rather have it done with and just be over with it. Here's the next attempt. An entry by Disciple goes a little bit awry. Nitro's still fighting over by the alley, exchanging USP shots, and finally connects with Polly's face. He's down. Then the next one, it could be PTR. He's also down. Seno's the last. Also knocked down. Flaming Rainbows has the first round and probably the most important round of an entire train map.
Yeah, not the start you want to have going into T-side on pistol round. You always want to make sure you get that pistol because rounds are very hard to come by on T-side, as we all know. I'm wondering if we're going to see some sort of pistol buy here, and it does. Oh, yeah, they're going for head armor and everything, so they're going for a P250. Polly actually getting a deagle, and Steno's grabbing some nades and a CZ, so, I mean, they want this round back. They want to get some momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, you can tell that's their purpose. How they execute it is the big question mark. You know you can't rush out at this level, so you want to do a delayed execute. Maybe wait for a certain time. Maybe wait for a smoke to disappear. Force a nade to move over. Oh, Arya's so close to the P... No, the P90 is going to tear them apart. They actually do significant damage to Arya. They force him out, but the rotates are already over. You can see it. This bomb site is vacated. All the CTs have moved over, so they'll counter-rotate back. Area 51 will go to C's outer, get a bomb plant in, and make sure their purchases are worthwhile. Thomas connects. That's a headshot. Then maybe another with the flashbang blocking a lot of people's visions. Look down, A2Z. There you go. Bomb plant's good. In the 4 lane is Mo. And you won't want to get that close haircut like that. Nice connection. 1 versus 3. PTR has a P90, and I think everybody knows where he is, so no chance he wins this. I'll tell you what. The armor buy with the luxury pistols, it does some damage to your economy. With the bomb plant and defuse, though, it makes it all worthwhile. You could take the risk, and then you can be reimbursed for a zero-sum game.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, they put so much money into that, even though they got the bomb plant. I don't know if, I feel like they just evened out there again on the 3rd round. I don't know if they actually gained or lost anything. So, yeah. So, you know, I mean, it could have been a better. They could have obviously gotten more kills and got a little bit more of a head. But now we're seeing some set smokes going outer, and here they're going to have it go here.
They'll have a flash over. No huge volume of nades. Oh, long distance P250 shot is registered, and suddenly it all fell apart. We had a promising start for Area 51 that just gets knocked down. The bomb plant is no good, and that means that these rounds are over. We'll be into the gun rounds, hopefully.
So the smokes landed in the 2 primary spots that you actually plant. And so it looked like that was just a, let's try to sneak in, get the bomb planted, get a little extra money going into this next round, because we all know Train is one of those maps that you need as much money as you can on the T side so you can buy the smokes you need, because smokes are what's necessary to be able to have a good execution on outer.
Smoke in and perhaps a push. Arya moves in toward the brown hallways and gets sprayed down. He's gotten sprayed down and punished a little bit for his transgressions, but each and every time he manages to make it out for just a little longer, to survive for just a little longer. This Area 51 offense for Train, as we have to assume, is not going to be very sophisticated. Train is something that you need to spend hours drilling on. Hours and hours drilling on. And you need to have a good sense of how your teammates play, have great chemistry, because you can't see your teammates. They're very far away from you when you execute. All of that spells potential disaster here.
It does. And one thing that I'm noticing, which I would hope that Area 51 kind of feels it out, but it's going to be hard for them unless they actually go into B. But the rotates come from Flaming Rainbows really, really quick, especially even with just one guy making noise at B. So if they do get the read on that, they can start abusing that to try and get some fakes going and get some good takes going on A.
Mo staring down the fence boost, but underneath him is Pauly. He'll wait for that shot. It's going to be a split execute at outer, with the execute coming from the ladder room, the main, and the alley. Pauly looks the wrong way. Mo is there waiting for him. He's still alive at the alley, and the alley man is the most dangerous man when it comes to taking outer. They smoked out the Z. The bomb plant will come. Oh, no, it won't. The bomb is here. The execute team from the ladder never brought the bomb. 6 seconds left. If Rush hides, he'll win the round. This is an utter collapse and failure.
Oh,
Area 51.
goodness.
These are the basics of Counter-Strike. The basics.
They had it. They cleared all 3 members of outer out. They got Mo with the Molotov, and they had control of the site, but they left the bomb. Oh, that is just that is so frustrating, especially with how important these rounds are T side.
I know.
You just throw it away with such a simple mistake.
Every single Area 51 member is thinking to themselves how hard it is to get trained T rounds. They had one in their laps.
That is just so unfortunate.
A disaster. A literal disaster. Flaming Rainbows gets to live another day. They have their guns, and Area 51's economy does not improve. There's an instant headshot. Oh, PTR's reactions were too slow. He put that shot right in the chest, and Oswald makes it away. The hold here for the CTs is a 3-2. And I know that Z player is leaning a little bit back towards Z to make it sort of a 3-1-1, but this is a classic. This is a 3-2 in the vein of 1.6 era.
From what I saw, he leans towards A for the most part, but since they've been throwing A's inner, he's been pretty much hanging out there this whole time.
1-1 on the trade. Rush is at the bomb train. A2Z's definitely on the hunt as his teammates call him out. By the blue trade, you got to help out your teammates. There's a kill and an immediate trade. Lawson doing significant damage from the red train of the Z, sees the bomb planter and an assisting player, 2 versus 2. Mo has the op, and the team everybody's flashed right now.
Yeah, and this is doable as long as they're just not in easy sightlines for Mo. Ooh, or if they just headshot him like that, they got a good shot.
No, this undisciplined peeking from Disciple will get a one-on-one scenario for Peter that he doesn't want to be in. If they had just kited and they just hid for a little longer, Lawson would be forced into a bad play. Now he can actually defuse. Will Peter save the day? And he's sticking the defuse. Another disaster for Area 51. They cannot do anything right at the moment.
From where I was on Peter's perspective right there, and I don't know if it was just my sound or what, but I couldn't hear the defuse actually happen. I don't know if he was too far away from it, but oh man, that's 2 rounds that just slipped right through their fingers, and they could have had it. And honestly, that 1v1 was in favor for him because the other player was at 10 health, and I mean, you had the advantage of being able to wait and listen for the defuse and then just peek after that. That's just so unfortunate.
At any point in this tournament, I can fall back on the line. You know, these teams from Maine, these teams from IM, or whoever have not had the experience at the CEVO P level to make these advanced decisions. But look at this roster. Peter, A2Z, Disciple, Steno, Pauly. And look at the mistakes. Picking up the bomb, peeking in a 1 versus 2. Area 51... they know it. They don't need us to say it. They know it.
Yeah.
They're throwing away rounds, and on train, you cannot.
And that's got to be really damaging to their confidence because, I mean, when you have 2 rounds that you should have won and then you just drop the ball completely, I mean, that would take all the wind out of my sails.
We're into our 6th round. The CTs have a 1-man advantage. Nitro, Mo, Rush, and Lawson all healthy. There are pretty much no utility nades. We'll talk about that in a second, about how important that is on a map like Train, because when you're out in the open getting gunned down by Lawson, who cannot control his M4A4, that's oftentimes a bad look. 1 versus 3, PTR, who's been the last before, will have to face off against bad odds. And then he gets opt in the shins. Let me tell you, Clay, force buying on Train is one of the most dangerous things you could possibly do.
Yeah, I definitely agree because I mean, like we mentioned earlier, you need to have the necessary nades to make these takes happen. I mean, training is a map that's very easily defendable by the counter terrorists, and if you don't have offensive smokes, offensive flashes, then taking these sites is very difficult. I know we've been kind of talking about how Area 51 has been blowing it, but I mean, on a brighter side, I mean, if you look 6 rounds, and in the first 6 rounds, they had the chance of taking 2. And they just kind of messed up. I mean, their aim is on point right now. If they keep it up, then they could definitely pick up the rounds like they're doing right now.
Like they're doing right now. This is a fantastic looking round, and it just turns my stomach to know that it could be 4-3 right now.
Yeah.
If you really, if you did the what ifs, the paradigm shifts, 4-3 T-side. That would be head scratching in and of itself. It's 6-1, and we're scratching our heads for all the wrong reasons. Now it's time to turn it around for Area 51 if they want to push this to a third map. So Arya, with his those stickers are floating, with his M4A1, will save. Let's take a look at the economy.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they can keep this going, this momentum with this, and keep hitting their shots, then I think they could actually claw back into it. But it's just a shame that they had the chance to have it so equalized, and yeah, it just fell short. But economy-wise, CTs are not looking good. Look at this. They're going to have to force a save here, most likely. And yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. We're seeing CZ and a Deagle being bought. Ari, the only one with a gun. He plays inner solo, so I'd expect to see him solo as well, and then everyone else just stacked outer.
Smoke over.
No. Stacking outer, actually.
Area 51 may play this round a little bit more aggressive. If they've done their math, they can play a bit looser. But Lawson, had the drop on A2Z, but could not make his CZ work for him. The trade-offs are good, and Arya's making plays. He's dropped 3 at the total. Well, I think his teammate dropped 1, so a double for him in combination with his teammate. 2 versus 2, a Deagle and an M4A1 face-off against Op and AK.
Bomb is going to make it in dinner. Look at the map.
Oh, Steno kept fighting with his teammate so far away. There's absolutely no reason to be fighting at that point.
This is a rough spot for PTR. He's got an Op, not my ideal weapon in this situation.
Wait, you can hear him. He tried the no-scope, and the shot gets ducked. Nitro literally matrixed the shot. This defuse will be so easy and appropriate for Arya, who made the biggest of plays this round. That'll be 7-1.
Yeah. Oh man, it always it turns my stomach when people try to go for the no scope just because it's so unreliable. But when you do hit it, you feel like a total badass.
You become John Wayne for like a few seconds.
It's not worth it. It really isn't, because CS:GO no scoping or quick scoping, it's too unreliable. And I mean, that's why I personally really dislike having ops in a clutch situation.
5 alive for both teams. New round, new hopes, and the Brown Halls is exactly where we're going to be going. The bomb is in tow, moving in. There's a single flanker with his decoy over at the alley. The number 9 man is an official lurk. You turn your rifle a little bit to the other direction. They may catch Arya, who's been there multiple times already. I think they're starting to pick up on his habits just a little bit. Toe spotted. Steno drills him. Arya's down, and they may take this as a formalized letter for entry. They'll turn it around. Steno's moving back toward outer. The rotates were too fast. They vacated outer. Only Mo is alive and in bomb site A.
They're holding a little bit in the ladder room. They should have stormed outer. They would have had a clear take on it, only having to kill 2 people.
Oh!
Yeah, they just delayed too long.
A chance here. Mo turns, and I think the entire CT squad has moved over, and they've turned into a new firing squad. That bomb carrier moves back around. Steno's in the site, has to go for a force plant. And you're right. They're in action. They're delayed. He needs to get this bomb plant. His team needs money.
Yeah. Well, he knows he's been spotted, and that if he goes for the plant, he'll initially be rushed. But still, he should have planted that bomb. Should have got the money for his team, and now we're going to be seeing a save. Freaking Mo. We're going to be seeing a save round coming in here from Area 51, whereas if they planted, they'd be able to buy.
I can't even reconcile that decision-making. You had a free path to a bomb plant, and he tried to go for a double kill with the statistical...
1 versus 3. Like, you got to go for the bomb plant. I mean, that's the best, guaranteed best scenario. from that situation. But you're okay. No, I'm gonna go for the complete gamble. It just doesn't make sense.
Auto sniper, justice to be served. 3 Mo down, nobody could put a shot onto him. Mo walks away just healthy, happy, and at 71 HP. Probably with a light tan. It seems I'm gonna say something just a bit radical here, that it's fallen apart at the seams for Area 51. There were 3 people running right at Mo, and only 1 person put a shot on him.
Yeah. Yep. I mean I don't know what to say about that. Except, I don't know what those guys are thinking.
We're at a loss for words as to how that went.
Yeah, I don't know what to say for those guys. Why didn't you pull the trigger on your gun? I don't know. But we are seeing the buy here. A little short on nades, but that kill right there, that could be a big turn for these guys going into this round. I mean, if they play it correctly.
I almost feel no. Arya's been caught like that before. And
yeah.
he's been killed like that before, and still Area 51 managed to throw away the round.
Yeah, and if you look at the map, Flaming Rainbows is not fully rotating like they had before. They know that, Area 51 does not fully commit to inner when they do get that kill. So hey, we're just going to keep playing our spots and wait for these guys.
There is no anchor player at the alley. Consistently, Area 51 abandons the Ivy, the alley, whatever you want to call it, and they allow that Ivy player to roam around. He doesn't have to play there, honestly, and if you don't keep him honest, at his alley position and pressured and anchored in, you really have no hope on train. Area 51 needs to re-engage that portion of the map. All the action from Area 51 has been from B lower and ladder room outer. That's a very small window for the CTs to react to.
Yeah, and it's really not that hard to isolate the alley guy. I mean, if they've been in plenty of situations where they've had ops, they could go out of mid connector, get a quick peek onto Mo, because Mo's going to be peeking. He's that aggressive play style. He goes for the kills. He wants to be the all-star of the team. So I mean, you could punish that, or you use smokes effectively on the trains or at alleyway to block up the side that he's on and just get in there.
Arya waits, and he has a free kill right here. If he keeps spraying a double, maybe a triple if he turns. BTR with a jumping headshot will trade 3 versus 3 and a gun recovered. Deagle, P250, and M4A4 as they storm the bomb site. The number 4 man's already here. Rush is already fighting. Here's the bomb plant. Will spray down and drop PTR. Peter's dead. So that leaves Pauly with Deagle and doing his ADD twerk.
Yeah, this round, I mean, if he pulls off this headshot, he could probably get the bomb plant, but yeah, I wouldn't imagine him being able to clutch out with everyone else at full HP. Oh man, this game. Obviously, Area 51 has to win out to have any hope going into this next half. Because one round T-side, that's certainly not going to do it.
This Flaming Rainbows team has something on train. We are getting a little down on Area 51 and not accenting how well Flaming Rainbows is playing. They, for 2 consecutive nights, have put together stellar performances on train. It's not over, but it is indicative as to how they perform on this map as a whole. Outer exchanges back and forth. And back and forth, 2 versus 2. Arya to reinforce. He's left his position from the Z out into the open, fighting behind some sand containers or some liquid containers. Disciple could clean it up. Now it's a one-on-one. Nitro versus Disciple. And Disciple has the bomb. He could leave the site, and then he may juke back. But remember the last time that Area 51 tried to pull that off? Arya knew. Will Nitro know? Perhaps not. He'll plant at the back of the bomb train, and Nitro doesn't have a frag nade, so he'll have to walk up, and he'll see it. All it takes is a flick shot, and on the 4th bullet, or the 3rd bullet of the burst, picks it up. It'll be 12-1. Area 51 just cannot catch a break. We've lost a player.
Yeah, who is missing right there? Peter, yeah. I could have sworn I saw him talking in chat. Okay, they just paused it.
They got it.
Match mod.
Match mod has awarded him his kills, his assists, his deaths, and his cash, most importantly.
Which they definitely need because they are hurting right now. But full buy isn't going into effect here. Actually, 2 mollies being picked up. I'm wondering how they're going to use those. I feel like just smokes would be more effective.
They could be. It doesn't seem like they timed it very well. They didn't have too much thought into it. The smokes are over, the flashes are out, and they're going to cascade them all into the site with not a whole lot of thought as to who executes when. They'll just come out gunning. Disciple hits the first. He's got an easy one to hit. A spray transfer, a triple for Disciple. A great start to this round. As long as they can corral in the op at the back of the 5 lane, which they do. Mo is down. Ari is the last, and he'll also be joining the corpse pile. 2 rounds for Area 51. If they want any semblance of a chance, they need to make sure the buffer is 3 so they can have that pistol round cushion.
I'm glad they went back to the speed outer because that's where they had their initial success after losing those and then dropped the ball. They went for a speed outer and they got 2 rounds, and now I mean 1 round, sorry, and then they went for it again and they had success. So I mean, Flaming Rainbows either wasn't ready for it or that's one of their weaknesses.
Disciple has stopped caring. He just battering ram down the ladder, just flies down, destroys everything in his path, and if it's finding success, do it every round.
Yeah.
Do it every round.
Do it until they stop you.
The star of the show, Mo has arrived back at the T-Con. He's got a silenced weapon and he can go all Splinter Cell, just siphon, filter, James Bond style. There's 1, but not 2. 3 rounds for Area 51. It may not be enough to save them. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. Thank you all for joining us on the week, the penultimate week before, the penultimate week before the start, or no, pre-penultimate week of start of Season 5. Make sure your team is signed up. You're watching the Pro Placement Tournament, and as this winds down, we'll begin to start naming our new CEVO P teams, and of course, the Elder Statesman CEVO P teams will just grin and welcome them in. Welcome, fresh meat.
Welcome to the meat grinder. So this should have been, I mean, honestly, it should have been 10-5. Flaming Rainbows were and if that was the case, Area 51 would be feeling good. But now, I mean, it's 110% necessary that they come up with this pistol round, because if they don't, then no chance for them to come back on this game.
We are essentially seeing this match decided right now.
This is pretty much game point.
Right now. The purchases for the CTs, 2 kits, 3 armor, and I think only 1 luxury SAR. It's only a P250 on that. I've been looking. That's P2000s, USP, 1 P250. Lawson into the round halls, and much, much different than Area 51. They will challenge the alley. Mo is so dominant holding down that Ivy that he was unperturbed until a couple of eco rounds where he gunned down multiple people. This is pivotal to control on this map, and Flaming Rainbow seems to know. A2Z will drop back looking for this headshot. He'll get gushed instead and hope that his teammate arrives in time to help him. He gets 1, and then maybe 2, does significant damage, then dropped in, I think, with the flank from Pauly, right? 2 alive for the T's. They'll run down the 5 lane, and Steno can jump and pick up this kill. He's got it. Only Ari alive, and he's also promptly gunned down. So that's 12-4, and that moment, right? We were thinking about it. We all had our breath just in our chests. Please don't let this slip away. We thought for a moment it was going to collapse.
I did, because if you notice, Lawson actually did a sound bait at inner, and 3 of the CTs actually rotated over, and it was just 1 person holding down alley all by himself against the 4. But he did a great job defending and just put Flaming Rainbows in their place right there. But now we see a full-on B rush happening.
That's how you know when you're rattled, right? You hear 1 footstep and 3 people rotate, and your team needs to be more composed. Here's the commit. Yeah. It's the wrong bomb site for the A players, and they have to move on over. Good start for the CTs as they drop 4. Ari will plant the bomb and allow his team to buy on the next round. Those nades will probably drop him down to nothing, so that gets cleaned up by Disciple after those nades. Here's the defuse, and we're on to the gun rounds. Area 51 must now brace themselves.
The bomb plant is good for Flaming Rainbows. That's going to give them an economy boost. I would imagine they're going to go for a buy right now unless they want Mo to have an op, which would be actually very strong, because an op on T-side train, you could get out to fast mid and get a pick outer very quickly, and that quickly turns the tides for the rest of your team to come out and just take control.
It looks as though Flaming Rainbows knows that they have rounds to work with, so they'll play the conservative route, do the exact same thing again, rush B with your pistols, and try to get another bomb plant. They just don't care. The number 7 man decides over to at least rotate and hold for him in this 2-1-2 formation that we're seeing on the CT side. This is best suited to protecting B. They're into the site. They call it over. 3-sided, the bomb sided. The team's all moving over. Mo's in the face. The Disciple drops it and can't pick up that gun. He's got one. And Arya will charge the connector, it looks like, or stop by the green train. These T's are weak, but they have positioning and the numerical advantage. Up the ladder, Arya can't hit the shot, then gun down. 3 versus 2, A2Z and Pauly to retake. Now just A2Z, and on this eco round, they're beginning to fall apart. Under the trains again, wow. Mo hits the shin shots, 13-5.
So not only a successful bomb plant, but the successful eco. And that is going to be huge for Flaming Rainbows. Bad news for Area 51. Area 51, very low on money. They're going to have to force here, most likely. And we do see Pauly going for the force. No head armor. Not too big of a deal going against AKs. And still no op from Mo, which that is very surprising since he could have passed his M4 over to Lawson and just picked up an op and they would have been fully geared.
Well, perhaps they prefer their players to be more mobile and less pick-oriented on train. Just try to play it in a skirmisher type of role. High-low for the CTs, though they do it unknowingly. PTR waits, and he's had a hard time controlling his rifle all day. He's lost another battle where a T ran up to him and sprayed him down. Nitro fights, he's got one above him and one to his left. And Pauly doesn't know. An odd exchange. Disciple drops the last 2. Rush and Nitro are down. They've got 6 rounds, Area 51. And they've got a steep, steep mountain to climb.
They certainly do. I feel like Flaming Rainbows could have taken more advantage of that. We do see Mo picking up the op this round, but Area 51 did well with what they had, and that force, you know, they made it happen. So now they're back in it, so to speak. If they win this one, that's going to force Flaming Rainbows into a save, and then they can start clawing back from there. But like you said, they do have a long way to go still, and you see Mo went for that early pick, but couldn't come up with anything.
Spray through will drop Mo to 54, but he makes it out, and it's still combat effective because he is wielding an op. It's going to be a split take on outer. The bomb in tow is waiting with a set nade. They'll come out from 2 angles in a 3-angle potential and try to run out and turn this into a gunfight. I like this personally. If you smoke it out and try to make it uncomfortable for the CTs with the 2 of the 3-lane smoke, you can make it messy and win, because Train is one of those maps where you can just lose people so easily.
Yeah, exactly. That isolates so much of the outside portion of the map, and it gives the terrorists less to focus on, and then you don't have to worry about people just shooting you from an area where you weren't paying attention to.
The trades, for the most part, went in the favor of the CTs, but they did lose Steno. And the bomb is sitting in the bomb site. They know one's in CT heaven. At the back of the 5-lane and the 6-lane, 2 more CTs wait, A2Z and PTR, and this is a headshot waiting to happen. There it is. Rush hits a good one, tries to transfer his spray toward 2 extras. It's just Nitro versus. The number 1 man has the bomb right in front of him. He can't reach it, though. No one's going to peek him. Area 51 learned a couple lessons about bad peeks last half. 18 seconds remain. They need a beep, and they're going to peek him now. Oh no, it's falling apart again. It's the same story over and over again. Nitro finally loses it. Disciple had to save his teammates. I had a knot in my throat. I felt like they were gonna collapse again.
I did it as well. I was worried right there, but they did manage to pull it out, and now we should be seeing that save, especially since the bomb plant didn't actually go down, and that's exactly what's going to be happening here. 2 smokes being picked up. Might see just a rush outer. Also, we might. Well, it's probably going to be a rush B since that's what they've been doing on their eco round so far. So I'm wondering if Area 51 is doing the math. If they know this, it looks like they are. They have 2 people in B ready to go. They should be able to hold on to this.
We have a single lurk in the ladder, and they've tried to rush out, but the smokes have impeded their progress. Spray through. Disciple has one. He stays up top, and he's got to fight close range. Save your teammate, PTR. You've got to turn and get a double, maybe a triple. He picks up that last one with a random last bullet. 13-8.
So they're getting closer. The buy round, though, every time Flaming Rainbows goes on a buy round, Area 51 is staring death in the face here. So they just got to endure on these buy rounds, keep forcing Flaming Rainbows into those, buy save slide, and they could get back into it.
In a game where they started so badly, I cannot believe that Disciple's 25 and 15. That's the stuff of legends right there.
Yeah, he's doing great right now, and he's really making an impact for his team.
Disciple's about to aggressively peek. On the other side of the fire is Rush. He's got a flashbang out. They'll try to scare him off. They kind of know that he's there. He's ready for this pre-fire. Rush flicks him. He's dropped. And perhaps the hope and the bright star of this Area 51 squad is already dead. 3 versus 3. Mo, Nitro, Rush have seized the site. They'll plant and wait. They have an op and they don't want to peek Mo, but he has the bomb and the responsibility. Another flick lost from Pauly. Nitro's very quick on that reaction. 2 versus 3. They know the location of 2, and Rush is tucked in behind the blue train. Nobody knows his location.
Nitro kind of got off easy right there. He was aimed way too high. Pauly unfortunately just missed his shot, but now it's a 1 versus 2.
And a battle lost. Rush has another one for a triple on the round. 14-8. Flaming Rainbows is a point away from the tie point.
The economy a little light here for Area 51, so we're going to be seeing another force situation, and they have to get this round, because if they don't, they won't have any money left dedicated for the match point or to force the tie. So this is, I mean,
this is the all-in.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
This is, yeah, in the StarCraft terminology, this is the all-in. Or card-playing terminology, or any terminology.
I was kind of scratching my head. StarCraft?
Yeah, it felt appropriate. Esports, they'll flash in, move down Ivy. PTR is too aggressive with his op. He moves up close to the riflers and will probably be charged right now. He's got a shot to make. He could have saved his team, and he loses the op. 3 versus 4. It's tough now when they have the positioning. I think Mo just took a shot at his own teammates. A flank from behind. Steno has dropped Mo. They're taking over the back lanes, and this positioning will allow them to look over the bomb site. This round is starting to change shape. Both Ts that are in the bomb site are stuck behind the barrels. They know the location of the last Disciple to save his teammates and defuse the bomb. This is absolutely ridiculous.
It is, and yeah, despite the fact that they did have 2 ops, I mean, that still was a force, because we had 2 FAMASes being thrown in there with I think it was no head armor. So yeah, 2 people did have to force that round. And look at this, the money is still lacking, and we're gonna see not a full buy from Area 51. So they do have the 2 ops, and we do see the M4 in armor, but the nades are gonna be a little light. Actually, the only one who's light is PTR. So he has an op, so he's gonna be playing that defensive position outer. Actually, yeah, he's playing outer, so had to double check. No, he's inner. Can't read numbers, apparently.
The map is lying to us. Out of the ladder room. Steno can't pick up the easiest of kills, but he manages to have Pauly clean up his mistake. You can't get that PT-50 to behave, Nitro, and that gets you punished. 3 alive for the Ts. There's a scout and a deagle and a PT-50 left. They'll try to charge inner. Disciple is dropped, and PTR makes up for his death and trades. At the blue train, it's Mo. In the middle of the 2 silos, the bomb planter Rush goes for the suicide plant. He can't get it. Oh, he does, just barely. And the defuse. It will be 14-10. Can we call the...
Not yet. They're still, I mean, they're still just barely breathing. We are going to see the gun round here. I think if they win this round and force Flaming Rainbows into another save, because they should be in a save after if they lose this round without the bomb plant, then I would say the comeback is on, because they should be able to win the eco, and that will put them at 12, and then I'd say they got a good shot.
They've got a shot, the barest of chances. I want to show you just the total damage dealt of Disciple as matching the T maximum, and Pat is totally eclipsing in the second half the T maximum. He's been great. They try to flash in. Pauly comes through and makes a horrible push, does almost no damage until the very end, where he manages to put 2 bullets on target. Arrogant left at 30, and the 2 B players have yet to rotate. This may save them if they make the right... You can see his elbow, Disciple! They may have just thrown away their round.
It's kind of looking that way. I mean, it all started with that haphazard push by Pauly with such an important round going on, and you can't let the T's get another round. I don't know why you would go for that aggressive push.
Steno feels that there may be a lurk, and Arya will absolutely decapitate him right now. He tried to turn. Now it's 2 versus 3. The bomb now ticks, and it's starting to reach a point where without a kit, though they do have them, it's going to be too hard to defuse. With a kit, it will be very close. A2Z to save his team. 1 versus 2. Both of them at the pop dog. 1 versus 1. Arya's at the back, running back into the brown hall, and I think A2Z knows it's already too late. He'll have to stick the defuse. It's just already done. 15 to 10.
And that's going to be disappointing. I think Area 51, their economy is not looking strong. A2Z has 5,500. Yeah, A2Z with 5,500, Poly with 6,300. So this is going to be a light buy for these guys. We see PTR already picking up the FAMAS, no head armor, and I think that's going to follow in suit for Steno and Disciple. Actually, Disciple had to go pistol head armor with nades. Oh man, that's rough for these guys. And I think the dream died in that last round, unfortunately.
It's a Herculean effort. Really tremendous how much they were able to accomplish when they had that disastrous of a first half.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. Had they gotten those 2 rounds, I think this one probably would have gone to Area 51. Those 2 rounds that they just biffed completely.
Excellent start for the CTs, though. Rush manages to trade. Pauly is down. A2Z has locked down the outer, and the split take for outer is falling apart slowly. But Nitro is infiltrating, and he's got a free kill. That's one. He's looking towards Z, but we know that that player, most important to him, is the one that's in the 4 lanes. Steno comes to reinforce. It's 3 versus 3. It's tough. Tough sledding. 1 versus 3, and it seems as though Area 51 is destined for the lower bracket. Flaming Rainbows, the newly reformed Area 51 and reliable roster, looks to be on the path towards CEVO P. Just one more kill to have locked up. And it's all done.